What I do is protect artists. I'm an artist manager, independent artist manager. I've been doing it for about 5 years. I started doing it by managing my daughter. Um, Once I learned that there's so much to learn about the industry as far as the music business part of it, there's no way my daughter could have been able to navigate that by herself without being screwed over, not only once but probably multiple times. So as I was learning the music business, she was being able to be creative, and I thought this is so unfair for artists. There's no way that they could protect themselves at the same time want to create what they want to create with their music. So as I was going through workshops with her, joining other parents in songwriting camps and whatnot, I was like, something didn't feel right. How people were moving, saying terms that they weren't explaining to us. It just didn't feel like we were getting the whole picture of of what the music that my child was creating. So down the rabbit hole of music business I fell, and I started researching these terms, and I learned so much about intellectual property, copyright, and exactly how music generates a revenue for an artist as well as a record label or any entity that is involved, such as a publisher or whatnot, syncing, placement, and how those royalties are generated and how to obtain those royalties and who collects them and whatnot. And I learned so much that every time I came across an artist that I could tell wasn't aware, I had to share that information. And that information helped people get out of bad deals, helped them to prevent them from getting into bad deals. Um, I've actually helped collect back pay from aggregators that took a fans pre-order payments, and they were stealing that from their fans. I was able to regain those funds back and return it to the fans and distribute their album and have a successful launch. That was great. As far as an artist manager, what I do is I also take an artist and I take an artist's vision and try to create blueprints from their dream. And I do that by strategizing. I'm thinking out of the box, setting short-term goals for them to achieve, so they feel like they're achieving like some success as I go along for their main goal. You have to do that, otherwise it just seems like a long and struggle for an artist. Setting short-term goals for an artist always helps alleviate the long hard like the long journey to achieve the big goal, because nothing comes overnight ever in this industry. It does go fast though. I didn't realize it was actually 5 years that I've been in it. That it's been I thought it was 3 and 5. Um, Learning the ins and outs of copyright and helping my daughter's career actually helped me facilitate a big case that I'm very proud of, which is the hip hop legendary hip hop crew, Two Live Crew's termination of copyright. And what that is after 35 years, there's a law called Section 203A that the artist is able to reclaim their copyright from the transfer that they did 35 years ago. And there's a lot of red tape, a lot of hoops to jump through, and due to the artist being broke because they don't have the music, they're not making money from the music, they don't have money to pay a lawyer to do so. So that's what the record labels are banking on. If they do happen to file, they're banking on the fact that they won't be able to pay the lawyer to continue to go through court for these nitpicking things that they do of the filing of the termination. But luckily, I teamed up with a great lawyer, and he's able to fight the case for us. Due to the fact that I facilitated the whole process, made it a little bit easier for him to take the case without being paid up front. It was a lot of I think it was probably one of the most difficult cases for in all like possibility of terminations, because it had to deal with multiple members that were estranged. They weren't talking. They didn't trust each other. One of them passed away, so I had to deal with the heirs of his estate. And then I wanted to learn how exactly, if they did get it back, how would they be able to profit from it if they did get it back. So I had to teach them about music placement and sync exactly how they would be able to profit when they obtain their music back. Um, that case taught me so much, and I hope to help other artists that need to get their music back, or that want their music back. And it's unfortunate that that situation happened, but now that I know it can happen, I'm out here trying to protect other artists from getting that, from having that situation happen to them, and as well as have gain trust from artists. These legends that I've been working with, they're very fragile, and I don't blame them. They don't know who to trust, and because of that, up and coming artists who have never even experienced what they experienced act like they've been robbed, and they haven't been robbed. And in fact, I find them blocking themselves from opportunity because they're worried about this boogeyman that they've all heard about. And I'm here to teach people pretty much what I want to do in this industry is teach people how to spot the boogeyman. And that's by being educated. That's by knowing the ins and outs of the business. And it's going to take some time. It takes time to learn, but you have to be willing to learn. You can't just trust someone to take control of your music, because that's intellectual property. That's like someone taking control of your house. Would you trust someone to have ownership of your house and let them do as they please with it? I don't think you would. People don't realize that their music creates royalties 70 years after they passed away. So that's your generational wealth. That's your next of kin's livelihood. You want to be able to leave something for your kids, and your music would be a great opportunity to be able to do so, if it's done right. Artists these days now, I see that they feel like they have some kind of power over everyone else because they control the music. And really, there's so much music that is out there that they'll go on to the next. You holding out by thinking you have leverage when you don't, it's only harming you. Artists need to learn how to give and take, and work with other entities involved in this industry, so they could be able to create a successful career for themselves, a long career for themselves. My goal is to create an environment where artists and executives could win together and build together and trust. It's been a long haul to do so. It's been hard for my artists to even trust me. I've had artists come in and out of working with me because of not trusting me, and then getting screwed, and me having them come back, and me having to fix what they got screwed about. That's kind of frustrating. So as an executive, I'm experiencing that kind of disrespect and experiencing that kind of lack of trust from artists. I could see how other executives in previous could say, no, screw them then. So artists, seriously, you carry a big part of the blame here, and so, as well as it doesn't make it right what some of these executives do. But if we could create an environment where we all could grow together and trust each other, and everything's transparent, and that involves the artists having to have the willingness to learn, not just like yeah, and trust. Stop being so quick to take the quick fame and quick money. I would suggest just be patient, build, and research and know the business, so you know how to spot the boogeyman. And that's what I would like to help you do, to spot the boogeyman, by teaching you some gems that I learned along the way as I experienced navigating the Two Live Crew copyright case, and my daughter. As far as managing artists, I'm the one that thinks out of the box. I like to see the big picture. I like to think of strategies that are unheard of. I'm very how can I say it? I'm not like the norm in the industry. I do things kind of different. I don't really care about who your name is or what you've done in the industry. I come at you with respect. I come at you with wanting to work together and collaborate, but I will not back down as far as asking questions. I won't stop protecting what's right, either be it the executives, because I've seen executives too give way too lenient. I'm like, you're doing so much and you're not taking your share. You should take your share, and they're so worried about making the artists think that they're the boogeyman, that they're getting robbed themselves. And that's not right either. It has to. There's a give and take on both ends. of the sides of the artist and the executive, and that's what I'm hoping that it could teach both of them. Like, we can't get too greedy on one end, and we got to trust on the other end, and hopefully we could create an environment that it's very comfortable and transparent, and music that could be exposed to the world that would be great music for everyone to listen to. Yeah, pretty much I'm hoping to do all that. Hopefully I drop some gems and it can help someone out there.